Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly
yeah.
Stardom and Marigold podcast in the world. I'm as always Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. I'm happy that you finally got the intro right for our 200th episode, Alex.
Took me 200
happy
episodes.
200. Happy
All
200.
200.
I mean, more than 200 because we've done specials. I don't think we ever count like the 5-star as episodes and stuff like that. So the previews, I mean. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's huge. 200 episodes, 200 weeks, pretty much, more or less, of us talking for more than an hour about the crazy world of Stardom and now Marigold. And it falls on recording date, Juneteenth. So for the 200th episode, Alex, how can you tell us how you feel about Juneteenth as a holiday?
It was a very new discovery for me. I think it is new, isn't it? Like it's only
It's
been considered
new
a thing recently.
among white people.
Okay, right, that's fair.
It's been a
'cause
black thing for
I have a
well over a
calendar.
century.
I have a calendar downstairs, and one of them has like all the holidays, and it actually has Juneteenth on it, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah. No,
I'm woke.
Yeah. I actually no, I hate the way that the word woke has like been stolen by like right wingers to just mean
Mhm.
anybody who cares about anything, because like it actually means something as
To
a
be fair,
word.
I can see
But
why they do it because it's really funny. Because
yes, no, I mean
I
I
refer
agree,
to
but
I did it today. I refer to like tiki taka soccer as woke because it's just funny. It's like inverted fullbacks, false nines. Nah, get a burly bastard on up front and kick it to him. That's real football, not this woke shit. And it's very funny to me. So I can see why they do it, but also
no, I like
I am
it's
much
a
more
good stealing of the word.
yeah
Like I like
yeah for
it's
sure.
really well done. I hate that. Um, but like legit, I was like because I sometimes just use the word woke to like mean literally aware of something, and somebody's like, "What?" And I was like, "No, like what? Like no, I'm using it correctly. You're using it incorrectly."
That's fair. Honestly, I get it, but it is funny. I don't know. Maybe that's not very woke of me, but it's funny. um,
You're like the Lois meme where she's like, "I can't do all this woke stuff. You win."
That's very good. That's great. All right. Well, head on over to the 5starnetwork.co for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Head on over to the 5-Star Network YouTube channel where this gets uploaded and Actress Stage goes up and the No Limit Wrestling Show goes up. And yeah, I don't have anything to plug. I never do. I don't do anything. Dylan might.
Oh, if you're listening to this, I think an episode of me and Scotty over on Scott's show will be up. So go check that out on the 5-star, not on the 5-star. It is the 5-star Joshi show on Fight Game Media. Yeah, I'm recording that after this, so I don't know if it's up. I don't know if like me and Scott could have like started screaming at each other and it got canned by the time this
There
goes
is
up.
a 0% chance that
Um,
happens.
yeah, no, me and Scott get along very, very well. So
It's me and
that's more of
Scott
a
that would
you
do
and
that.
Scott thing.
Yeah. That's
Um,
why we don't do shows together. We would just end up like annoying the hell out of each other because our energy is too similar, me and Scott. So
yeah,
it
but
cannot
if you,
happen.
because obviously this is a very loaded show, so if you want more of my individual thoughts on certain things, you should probably go check that out because we're probably going to be running through some stuff here a bit quicker because there's like 800 things to talk about.
Yeah, I suppose we'll just get right into it. We're gonna start with Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom. Because this has become a very common thing. They're working with other promotions. Mina is obviously in AEW, and we've kind of missed the boat on some announcements recently and some stuff that's happened. But we're going to kind of run through it all here. So one of the first things is that Momo Watanabe was announced for the Sendai Girls Cork and Hall show. I think that's next month, and she is
Mhm.
wrestling Dash Chisako in a singles match, which is pretty incredible.
Pretty
That's probably going
crazy
to air
Sendai
live.
show over there
Yes,
for July.
Sendai are like a top 3 promotion now. Now that they're accessible and reliably uploading stuff, they are top 3, like,
It's
without doubt.
very hard because, like, I'm so used to them not uploading, so I just kinda hand
Yeah.
wave them except for the big stuff, but now it's like, "No, you need to watch all of it because it's all
Mhm.
up," and I'm just like, "Fuck, man. I don't have time, but I want to."
It's a great time. It's a great time. But yeah, that's a crazy match. Dash and Momo are pretty great. They might turn it into a hardcore match because Dash always does that at Cork, but I trust her and Momo even if they did a hardcore match to make it enjoyable. So that'll be
Yeah,
fun.
maybe we
That
could
should be
finally
on
see
pay per view.
a good Momo hardcore match.
That's
That'd be
crazy.
interesting.
That's crazy. Um, Other thing, Syuri competed in SEAdLINNG. She was part of a big 6-on-6 match where Las Egos reunited to take on 6 wrestlers from all around the Joshi scene. Um, the rules were kind of difficult. The 6 wrestlers were drawn 3 separate matches: a 1-on-1, a 2-on-2, and a 3-on-3. And then they decided on the day to also do a 6-on-6. So Syuri was initially in a 2-on-2 match. It was her and who was it? Her and Yuki? No, it wasn't her and Yuki. Was it her? I can't
Man,
remember. It was her and
yeah,
Dash, wasn't it? Her and Dash
I didn't get to watch
against.
this either.
Oh yeah, sorry. I think it was Syuri and Dash against Arisa Nakajima and Veni, which insane, right? There was just 15 minutes of crazy wrestling, and then there was also the 6-on-6 after, which was also insane. The whole thing from the 1-on-1 through to the 6-on-6 lasted like an hour, but it is one of the greatest hours of wrestling I've ever experienced. Like they all just went crazy. It was an insane celebration of Arisa Nakajima and what she brought to the table. You get to see wrestlers like Mayuki and Tsukasa mix it up, which hasn't happened in a long time. You get to see Veni and Syuri go at it. You get to see Dash and Arisa go at it. Like there's just so many amazing wrestlers just doing crazy shit for the entire duration. It is fantastic. If you get a chance to watch it, do. I think Stardom's uploading the 2 Syuri bits. I don't think they're uploading the full match, but if you just want to watch Syuri's bits, those 2 parts will be on Stardom World, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something that I want to watch, and I'm planning on watching today. I've been playing Minecraft. That's the problem.
Right.
My IRL friends after I came back from vacation. Oh yeah, by the way, I was in town last week. I wanted to note we played a full combat game called Steal the Bacon, where you have to grab a ball in the middle of the field and you run and whatever. Um, one of my friends hit another one of my friends with just like a straight up overhead uranagi.
Sick.
Um, and like I thought he broke his neck. Um, but he didn't. He no sold it and got up and grabbed the ball and came
No
back and
respect
won.
for the business, man.
Yeah, no, he kind of disrespected that shit. Sauri would have beat the fuck out of him. That's all I'm saying.
Damn right.
Um, but yeah, that was an interesting thought I wanted to note. But I've
Fair.
been playing Minecraft, so I have not been able to watch as much wrestling.
That is insane. I could never get into Minecraft. Um,
Yeah, I know you're
it's
strange.
I build a house and then I go, that's it. I'm done.
See, I can't get into Minecraft alone. Like if I'm playing with my friends, like with you know, I
Yeah,
usually
I don't know. I
you
think
know
that would annoy
I
me
usually get
more
into it.
knowing my friends. I think that would
That's
make
fair.
life worse. So
That's
I
fair.
don't know.
I've gotten into some Minecraft
Um,
fights to be fair.
yeah, I can imagine. But anyway, another Stardom wrestlers doing things elsewhere. Azumi and Starlight Kid wrestled to a time limit draw on the All Together show in Sapporo. This eventually found its way online because it was an exclusive pay per view on Abema, so it was very difficult to find. But it did go up. I haven't seen it yet. You did. So how was it?
Yes. It was good. I really liked it. I liked it more than the match last year. Uh which if you remember it was kind of the we're gonna have the best match ever
Mhm.
match, and it that those always kind of fail. Um, Similar with the Julia Suzu match from last year, where it's like, oh, we're gonna have the best match you've ever seen. It's like that usually doesn't
Yeah,
translate. The thing about this match was they were just cooking. They just wrestled the way they wrestle. Uh, it wasn't heated. I think that was the big thing, but also you could see certain things like Starlight Kid was very good at working the leg. Um, Azumi was obviously explosive as ever and really just kept the flow going as she does very very well. And yeah, the crowd were pretty into it. I mean, it was a dead crowd generally. Sapporo crowd was.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
show
they got
bombed
like,
too.
yeah, it was a not a good, uh, not good attendance, not a good anything for that show. But the crowd were into it. And yeah, I had a really good time with it. I thought it was a lot of fun. 15 minutes. It really is second nature for them. This is the what? It would be 4-4-3. This is their 11th singles match together ever. Um, so obviously it's a bit hard after a certain point. I've seen,
Hmm.
I think, like 9 of them. Uh, it's hard to kind of like still break the mold, especially in a 15-minute time limit where there's not really any stakes or heat or anything. Um, but they just are so natural together that it worked super well, and I enjoyed it immensely. Azumi's just, I mean, I haven't been able to talk about much because this Oedo Tai Queen's Quest stuff is killing me, and I have not wanted to really watch a lot of Azumi stuff because it's all tied into that recently. Um, but she's, as always, on top of her game. Insane. Really, really good.
All right.
As this kid, I want to preface
Yes.
that she did great in that
Okay.
match as well.
Another Stardom wrestler. We're kind of looking ahead now. Um, Mina Shirakawa will be on AEW Dynamite. This will have already happened by the time this show goes up. It's just a contract signing for her versus Tony. She won't be wrestling on Dynamite. They have a women's match announced, but they might tape something for Rampage. I know she wrestled Serena Deeb a couple weeks back on Rampage. Might do something for Collision, but she might be back in Japan by then. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's the conversion
Um,
day
oh yeah,
of.
it is. Yeah. So probably Rampage, or they'll just do a segment. They also might announce a second women's match for Forbidden Door involving a Stardom wrestler. I could see it being on the pre-show, and they'd probably want to do it now. There also might be somebody in the Owen Hart Cup thing, so could be a few
Yeah,
different
that's
things
also
to
being
do with
announced.
Stardom.
Yeah.
But the only thing we know is contract signing, and well, kind
Momo
of how that
Kogo's gonna
feud has
be in
been
the
going.
Owen and lose immediately.
She should honestly get that bag. But yeah, I look forward to more of the big Mariah May storyline revolving around her ex-girlfriend and her current girlfriend not getting along. It's very cool
And
and
also
great.
boobs, I think that's a part
Boobs,
of the
indeed,
a
yes.
part of the story, definitely.
um, this weekend at Bloodsport in Ryogoku Kokugikan, Konami is taking on Maya Fukuda in a UWF rules match. I mean, Konami's probably going to beat her ass. That's kind of how it goes.
They could do a shoot
Um,
fight, and I still think Maya Fukuda would probably lose,
probably,
because
probably.
Homegirl wants to be something that she isn't. Um,
Mm. I mean, one
I
is
mean,
trained by Kana and the other isn't. I think
yeah,
we know who's gonna win.
one of them got their ass beat by a fucking 15-year-old, uh, last year.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mayu Fukuda is not. Yeah, what a weird wrestler.
She's not even a wrestler. That's the problem.
Yes, basically. The next day, then Stardom is involved in 3 different shows on the same day. So one of them is Catch the Wave. We have 2 of the better matches from Wave: Saikam Tani versus Risa Sera, and Rani Agami versus Chi Chi.
Is this
So
after the conversion?
yes, the day after.
Huh.
Yeah,
That'll be
so that's good.
interesting to see Saya Kamatani wrestle a day after the conversion.
I assume she'll act the same, but who knows?
Yeah, but just in general, like if Queen's Quest dies day before, she
Oh
just
yeah,
is wrestling in Wave. You know what I
she'll be
mean?
all right. She'll be fine. Um, Show that probably won't air. It's the Women's Pro Wrestling Gokwaku Festival. It's a produce show put on by Dump Matsumoto.
Mm.
In the, I presume, the main event, it's Dump, Zap, and Natsuko Tora against Yumiko Hoda, Natsupoi, and Sayaka Kurara. Probably will never air. Dump is probably going to pin
That's
Kurara
such a
or something.
funny. That's such a funny babyface team.
Yeah, yeah. Yumiko Hoda played a heel for like a decade there, but now she's the baby face against Dump and Zap.
Yeah.
Who could forget Zap? Um,
I there's
yeah,
actually there's a Zap reference later when we talk about Marigold.
you.
It's a good one. It's
Um,
not a bad one.
okay, that's good. The last thing, and I guess the most important thing, is that on the 23rd of June, Mayu Iwatani is wrestling Tsukasa Fujimoto for the IWGP Women's Championship in Ice Ribbon at Cork and Hall. This show will be available on pay-per-view. It's on Ice Ribbon's website. The URL is a bit weird, but they'll probably post it somewhere. At least I would hope so. Um, rest of the card, if you're going to check out the whole show, I was kind of disappointed by it. It's not the
It's
kind
a
of
pretty weak
card
card.
that I think will grab anyone. Mifu Ishida isn't on it. I think she's injured, which is a big shame because she's like their big prospect. And
Yeah.
then Asuka Fujitaki, who I also really like, is just in a trios match in the undercard. So if you're gonna watch this, I think the only things you might take away are maybe the recent Nakajima tag, because Yoshiko Hasagawa and Saran could get their ass beat.
That sounds fun.
Mio
I like
Shirai
that.
is wrestling, just in case this wasn't weird enough. Mio Shirai is wrestling Unagi Sayaka and Yuki Mashiro. And I think the big match for most
She
people
didn't
would
get
be
enough. She didn't get enough brain damage during her wrestling career. She wants some
no,
more.
apparently not. They are crowning a new Infinity champion. It's Yuri versus Hamiko Hoshi, which might end up being like the second best match of the show because Yuri is pretty great, but Yuri is representing Gambare. She's not a nice urban wrestler. So, if you do watch this show, you're most likely to go, Mayu is awesome, Tsukasa is awesome, and Yuri is awesome, which doesn't do a lot for Ice Ribbon when Tsukasa is going back into hiatus soon and Yuri is not their
Doesn't work
wrestler.
there. Yeah.
So, yeah, rough one for Ice Ribbon, I think, even though it's a solid card. I don't know how you're going to win any new fans with this, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like
Over
something
under
will
300
overdeliver.
people in attendance.
Over. Yeah, I think Mayu is enough.
Yeah.
Mayu on the Risa retirement tour probably does it.
Yeah, but that's. I feel like it's a fair over under because it's Ice Ribbon.
That's
So yeah.
true. It is at like 11:30 in the morning as well. That's a weird time.
No,
So
that's usually when Joshi companies run Korakuen. To be fair.
really, that's strange.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Joshi companies run midday Korakuens all the time.
Oh, fair enough, I guess. But that's everything I think from Stardom in other companies. So we are spread thin, and we're approaching Cross as well, which we'll talk about when it happens when now Kakuta retires. But now our attention shall turn to Stardom. We will be doing Marigold in the second half of the show. Our focus now is on Stardom because they have New Blood and they have a pay-per-view, and they had two shows this past weekend for us to discuss. The first one was on the 15th, I believe. Yes, the 15th in
Yes.
Shizuoka. They did a very impressive 431 fans here. This was a pretty bad show, if anybody has seen it. Uh, I don't know what it was either. Like I thought it was being mean, and then the main event was killer, and I was like, oh, it was just everybody else, you know. Um, so yeah, I
I
didn't
mean,
enjoy this one, but it had its moments, I guess.
yeah. So on the when I get the report that it's bad from either you or Scott or both of you, um, I usually reduce what I was going to watch down to like a match or two. And you could
Hmm.
probably guess the two matches that I watched, uh, because it's the one build that I'm confident in and I have been enjoying in the lead up to the conversion. So
Okay,
yeah, I heard this was
that's
bad, so
fair.
I didn't really check out a lot of it.
Yeah, no, that's all right. The opening match was Konami, Ami Sore, and Rani Agami beating Aya Sakurai, Yuna Mizumori, and Sayaka Karara. Ami got the win for her team over Carrara with a blue Thunder Bomb in 12 minutes. This is okay. God's Eye are decent together. That's about it. Konami's cool. I like Konami,
12
but
minute opener is a bit
it's
lengthy.
crazy. Koguma lost to Ida in our second match when Sai Ida rolled her up with the Ida Bashi in just under 9 minutes. They kind of did some bits and then both took crazy neck bumps, and then that was kind of it.
Yeah, no, I like this. This is what I want. Um, Koguma
The
turns it
bits. You were
on
into the
for
bits.
like,
Koguma was
yeah,
very antagonistic. I kind of think if you enjoy that,
Koguma's
then
sick.
this was for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Koguma is, when she turns it on in a singles match, it's fun. Even
Mm.
if it's not like this match wasn't great. It was just kind of a match that happened. But I really like seeing Koguma kind of do singles stuff sometimes.
Hmm.
And Ida is probably the most consistent wrestler in the company. Uh,
Well, I don't know about
well,
that.
because she doesn't have to deal with all of the bullshit most of the time. When's the last time you saw her against Oedo Tai? You know what I mean?
That's
Uh,
true.
so she just gets to wrestle good matches.
Speaking of matches that happened, Hanan beat Hazuki in 5 minutes with 17. This I was like, oh, that ended, and then I thought it was me, but then everybody else was like,
No,
oh, they
yeah.
just ended. It just ended, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
It was a
So
super
it
fun
wasn't just me.
sprint. I had fun
Yes.
with the 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, and it's similar. They're doing this with the challengers because the same thing happened in the Fukuoka Triple Crazy match, the next show,
Hmm.
where Xena just won, even though it was a lot longer. They were just like, and then Xena wins somehow, roll her up, and Xena's
Hmm.
like, I don't know how to roll people up, and that was the finish. Um, so like they're really very clearly like making it so that it's like, oh, the way that these challengers win is by cutoffs, like is halting the momentum in place. So I imagine that might lead into the matches on the conversion,
Mm.
but I don't know. I think that's what they were getting at here. Uh, so yeah, I didn't hate that they did this. I would have liked more to this singles match, Hana versus Suzuki, because they very clearly have great chemistry together, and we
Yes.
don't get to see it very often. We got we got
Um.
we got it stolen from us in the Cinderella from Ruaka.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Rocka, huh? She's coming back this weekend.
Yes,
Are
she
you
is.
excited?
I am.
Okay, that's good.
She
Our
got the
next
box,
match,
I'm sure.
probably, hopefully. Our next match was May Sarah beating Rian and Mina Shirakawa. May pinned Rian in 7 minutes with a shooting star. Um, I can't remember if it was this match or one of the 10 other May Sarah Rian exchanges, but I had a good time.
May
I feel
Sarah
like
is
May
usually
Sarah and
good.
Rihanna have been paired up for like every show for the past 2 months, so I
Yes,
could just be having a moment here, or I could have actually enjoyed some of their output. Who's to say?
you. It's your opinion.
Well, I don't know. But what if it was a different match that I'm remembering? Like, did they
They
wrestle
all
in the
blend
next
together.
show as well? They
They've
do, they
wrestled
do.
on every single match, yeah, every
Yes.
single show
So yeah,
since
it's
since Suzu's gotten hurt. May Sarah is pretty much only wrestling Rion.
that's true. And Mino is also here. Huzzah.
Yep.
Our next match was Syuri and Saki Kashima beating Mayu Iwatani and Momo Kogo. Syuri beat Kogo in 10 minutes of the ground style Shizaku submission. I wasn't about to watch this, I won't lie to you. I have zero interest in Mayu Komomo tags. It's
Oh, see, I watched the Osaka one and it was good. I didn't watch this one
okay.
because
Well, I don't know. I just wasn't
yeah.
really feeling it, but that's okay. We then had Syuri Ano, Tam Nakano, and Natsupoi beat Maika, Xena, and Hanako in 12 minutes. Syuri Ano won with the Tom's Tundra, at least that's what I think it is, in just under 13 minutes. There was a lot of miscommunication between Micah and Xena here to like set up the preview and the title match. They were like arguing and wouldn't tag, and they were distracted then for the finish. So Hanako got beat. You know,
They still have
story stuff.
a tag team chip together, trios. But isn't
Yeah.
that funny? Because it feels like they're like really lean. They might just fucking hate each other and stop wrestling together. But they still have belts together, which is
Yes.
an interesting way to kind of run this.
Very. Our next match then was the
Because
main event.
yeah,
Oh,
Xena
what's the
jumped Micah backstage.
yeah. No, they're really going at it, but they'll fix it by having them wrestle. That's kind of how it goes, I guess.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, our main event. The Oedo Tai team of Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, and Tekla beat the Queen's Quest team of Sai Kamitani, Lady C, and Miyu Amasaki. Momo got the win for her team in 12.5 minutes with a inhumane driver on Kevin. This was the match of the night by far. Miyu Amasaki, when did you turn into a workhorse? She
Yeah, she's great.
carried this match on her shoulders. She was going nuts. I have absolutely no idea when this happened, but I couldn't be happier. Her and Tekla had a really fun exchange, I thought, and her and Momo was just crazy down the stretch. This was a real showcase for Miyu Amasaki.
I mean, Miyu's just really fucking good right now. I think that's where we're at. Is like
Yeah.
Miyu has become one of those effort wrestlers. You know what I mean? That really can just put it can just really turn it on and become really good. She and obviously against Momo Watanabe in the closing stretch that'll help you. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see this match. I got to see her match on the next show, which I quite enjoyed.
Match of the year,
Um,
you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping she's in the 5 star. I think there's enough room for her.
There is room for everybody, basically,
Yeah,
because it's 28 people. So
but
she'll probably be in.
who the problem is that they have partners now. So
Yeah, but they might
we'll
just
see.
stick with their home roster. I don't know. After the match, then Natsuko got on the microphone and Momo took it off her and was like, I was confused like you were, Kamitani. I was, worried and confused and whatnot. Which is kind of teasing that Saya is going to do what Momo did and turn on Queen's Quest, basically. So that's fun. And that was the end of the show. Very underwhelming show. I thought a lot of the matches were pretty poor until the main event, and it wasn't even just me being like harsh on it. It was just the main event was like, oh, this is what energy and effort looks like compared to what we got the rest of the show.
Also notice
Um,
you mentioned 2 people in the main event, or 3 people, but you're a white woman fan, so really 2.
I
Um,
mentioned Tekla,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Momo, and Evan.
Like you and Miyu, and I was like, okay. And you also mentioned Tekla. I was like, yeah, but that's probably a you thing. Um, you know, I say you're a white woman fan. Like Zeta Steel isn't like my favorite wrestler in the world right now. It's very funny.
I think you should leave me alone, quite frankly. But you know what? That's fine. First show wasn't very good. The Osaka show was much better. They were in the Osaka Edion number 2. 445 fans here on June 16th. In the opener, Miyu Amasaki beat Aya Sakura in 7 minutes with a tensei. And yeah, as we said,
This was
match of
really
the year,
fun,
maybe. Crazy. The spooky voice kept putting me off, though. That was crazy.
bro. It made me so uncomfortable.
This is a
It
demonstration of
was every
Wirecast. And I was
15
like, girl,
seconds.
don't you. I was like, shut her up, please. I don't like
When I
her.
saw people like tweeting about it, I was like, oh, does that happen like every couple minutes? It was literally every 30 seconds.
Yes, constant, never ending. I didn't mind the screen thing, but the voice was very off putting.
Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Made me quite
So,
uncomfortable.
Big Kev and Io were just out here having the best match of the year, and Stardom tried to sabotage it. Crazy.
Yeah. These 2 are really, really cool, and I walked away very happy with this match.
All right.
So they did good stuff. It wasn't like
I
great
hope
or
I
anything,
hope
but
Miyu
it was
Masaki
very fun.
really lands on her feet with whatever happens this weekend because
Yeah.
she deserves it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Um,
am
our next
concerned as
match,
well.
yes, our next match was Mei Sarah beating Rian and Yuna Mizumori. Mei Sarah once again pinned Rian with a drop kick. I did
Oh, with the
enjoy this
meet cute.
one. Yeah. They did some Unimon May stuff that I thought was really good, and then Rian and May are just good together. So I enjoyed this one. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. The second I said I'm gonna name Sarah's drop kick, she stopped using the drop kick. So
Yes,
this is the first time I could say, yeah, I decided that her drop kick is now called the meet cute because I don't know if you know this, you fell in love with Sarah 5 seconds ago,
hell yeah.
which is what it's all about.
All right. Our next match was Mina Shirakawa and Hanako beating Saki Kashima and Rani Yagami. Mina pinned Saki Kashima with the Glamorous Collection Mina in 8 minutes, and I didn't watch this one.
Damn, that's your girl.
Yeah, I don't
She
know.
won them.
She's in limbo. I just don't know how
Yeah.
to feel.
She's also
You
in
know?
It's funny when you look at the slideshow of the match, it's all
Mhm.
Mina just doing bits. She isn't
Yes.
physically doing a single move. As far like I haven't seen one yet. Oh, there's
Like
a
we are
kick.
literally in pain. We're in pain.
She did a kick. She did a kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next match was Mayu Iwatani and Momo Kogo beating Syuri Ano and Sayaka Kurara. Mayu pinned Kurara in 11.5 minutes with a frog splash. 11.5 minutes. Dear Lord.
No, I actually had a lot of fun with this because Mayu put in a shift here. It wasn't just Momokogo, which is usually how that ends up going. But no, Mayu was like really putting in the work against Karara. Karara
All
was
right.
putting in the work against Mayu. It was a lot of fun. Um,
Okay.
and I think Momokogo is like one of those strange cases where it's like you think she's way worse than she is because like she's very competent, and especially when she's not the focus of a tag team match,
Hmm.
she usually makes the tag team match better, which I think she did here. um I thought it was a good match.
All right. Um, the next match was This was disrupted due to Natsupoi being forced to withdraw from the show suddenly, as she was replaced by Poi Man. So
Yeah, Natsupoi
Starlight
can't get
Kid,
any wins over Amisore. I don't know.
no.
It's not allowed.
Starlight Kid, Tam Nakano, and Poi Man, who did all of Natsupoi's moves, by the way, beat Syuri,
But only says
Konami.
poi. She doesn't
Only
speak
says
English
Poi.
or
Cannot speak
Japanese.
English. Yeah, or cannot speak English. That's crazy. Can't speak.
I
Only
don't
says
think
Poi.
Natsupoi could speak English either, Dylan. I don't know.
I don't know. She doesn't seem like she can speak anything
I
based
don't know
on
if
the
she can speak
interviews.
that much Japanese. Yeah.
No.
Um,
But yeah, Amisore rounded out the God's Eye trio, and Poi Man beat Amisore with a fairy blink in 12.5 minutes. Kid led
yeah.
the
And
dance
Amisore was
for
yelling
the.
in the post match. She's like, "What the fuck?" I hate
That's
this.
crazy.
It's great.
Kid led the dance for the masked trio because Tam also had a mask. Because they all said, "Hey, I want to wear a mask for you, Kid," and then Poi was like, "I'll wear a mask. I know somebody who can wear a mask for Kid. Like, let's get Kid to Cosmic Angels. We'll all wear masks." So this was them paying that off, and I thought it was a really good match. The two factions worked really well together. I think Ami, works well with Poi. Syuri was picking her spots really well. I think she did some bits with Tam Nakano that were really enjoyable. Konami has been very enjoyable since her comeback. She's doing really good work. So you put Starlight Kid and the Work Rate Angels in there with a motivated God's Eye, and you're kind of cooking. So I did enjoy this.
Yeah, it was fun. It felt a bit long, which I think is just like a God's Eye issue, is that their
Mm,
matches feel longer than they actually are. But yeah, I had fun with this. The vibes were good. God's Eye were just total bullies because they're like, we don't want you to have fun. This is dumb. Stop.
yes,
Um, and I appreciate
very
that.
good
I thought this
match.
was like a really fun kind of dynamic here. I
Mm.
also like that Shuri stole Tam's mask and wore it and started dancing, and Tam covered her face with a towel like a real worker.
That's
Um,
crazy. Tam gets this shit. She's
yeah,
a real
this is
real
one
worker.
time where I wish there was like commentary on Stardom shows because I feel
Oh
like
man.
the call. No, not really, but I feel like the call of like, I don't really care about what's under Starlight Kid's mask. I wonder what Tam Nakano looks like. I wonder what Poyman looks like. Starlight Kid, whatever. I I really want to see what Tam Nakano looks like under the mask. Just like playing into the idea that's like, you know, she's a luchador that you've never seen before, even though you've seen her way too much. If you're
Oh my God, no! One of the videos played. Ugh. All right. Our next match was the Queen's Quest team: Sayaka Mitani, Azumi, and Lady C. Beating Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, and Tekla. Azumi technically beat Momo Watanabe in 14 minutes by disqualification. He did make sure to have Momo get a visual pinfall over for that though, just to put the shovel in a little bit more. And yeah, this was another like
yeah,
fine
when Queen's Quest
match.
loses, they're just gonna lose like geeks.
Hmm.
Like they're really geeking the like historically the best faction in like Stardom history.
They won here
That's
though.
wild.
That's all. That's really what matters. Um, so yeah,
Beat the fuck
Momo
out of them.
clean pin over Azumi, and then choked her out with the bat after.
And then they went
And
backstage and beat the fuck out of them there too.
yes, like just fully beating the crap out of this faction. It's crazy.
And there's hmm, hmm.
On to better things though. I think the main event. Xena, Anan, and Saida beat Fukuoka Triple Crazy, the team of Maika, Hazuki, and Koguma. Xena got the win over Maika with a thunder roll in 15.5 minutes.
That she pinned her. That wasn't even like a roll. Like that was
Well,
she
it is now.
just
That's what
she
that's
just
what they're
got
calling
like
it.
she just like grabbed her leg and then like twisted a little bit and then pinned her. I was like, that's
What
not
do
a
you know?
roll up.
What do you know? She was taught that by Daga. What do you know about the lion? Huh?
Well, Daga needs to teach her how to, you know, get a bit tighter, I guess. Shouts out the Lion
Whatever.
King. Best of the juniors.
Um, I really enjoyed this as well.
This
Xena
dog.
and Micah finally got to like share the ring for a proper preview, and it was really good.
Yeah, I
Because
was
the,
thinking, I
the
was like,
last preview tag was mainly Mina and Micah. which was
Their
really
their build
strange.
has been so cold. Like everything I've seen has just been like not like it's just like oh like like they just it's miscommunications and then Micah beats it. Like I just haven't gotten much from it uh
Hmm.
to the point where I stopped watching them. But this match I thought that Xena and Micah did a really good job of building to
Did.
the match. The build has kind of made you forget that Xena is very good at wrestling.
Hmm.
But she did very good here. Like I said, the pin was a bit, but yeah, she did a lot of good stuff. I loved the Xena Ida collaboration um, with the
I will
chops.
say
I
that
thought that was a lot of fun.
they do fit
And
together really well.
yeah, I think both teams kind of fit together quite well. It's a lot of fun.
They did.
Um,
Micah and FWC is a really good pairing. They look
I
good.
think the problem is that EXV is bad. I think that's
Mm,
the problem is that whenever I see EXV with like anybody else, I'm just like, yeah, they fit better together.
Uh, I would disagree, but it's also very difficult to disagree currently. Because yeah, they haven't done right by NXSV in a little bit, but you know, we got some good stuff here, and that's
See,
all we
I
needed.
was an OG EXV hater, and I am being proven right every single week.
No. But that was that show. Unless you have anything more on that main event. The post
No,
match was just standard
I'm
pandering,
just
like, "Hey, I'm gonna beat you" stuff.
Wingori and FWC are like, the ones I trust at this point.
Mhm.
Uh,
That's fair.
and I'm excited for that match.
Okay. Our first show to preview then from Stardom is Fiberplex presents New Blood 13. This is Tokyo New Pier Hall. In our opener, May Sarah and Rian pay off their months-long grudge in a singles match. How insane. I cannot wait for May Sarah to win.
With the meet cute, probably.
Yes. And they might end up in the same faction as well. I'm predicting some stuff. They'll be together very soon. Our next match is where shit gets real. Tomoka Ina versus Rana Yagami. Great shit. Match of the year. Tomoka's gonna beat her ass, but that's okay.
I need Tomoka to lock the fuck in at this point.
Mm.
That's where I'm at. I need her around and beating people up and being good because she's had a pretty middling year this year. Um,
Mm.
like usually by now you will have found like a good Inaba match that's like like especially like oh yeah this was great. Um, even in opportunities that she's had to do that, I feel like her performances haven't been on that level. Um,
Hmm.
I'm not saying that this match against Ryan Yagami is going to be that right where it's like oh yeah this is all I've ever hoped for. But I'm just hoping that she kind of can find a groove this year because it's been a weaker year this year than it has been in previous years for her.
Well, that's what happens when you're stuck doing JTO rules.
Well,
It's
even
not
but
easy.
even outside of JTO rules, I feel like she's just had a generally less significant role, and even the matches that she's in, like even that style retag with Azusa versus Nanai and Tomoka, I was like, Tomoka could probably be better. Like I feel like she could be doing better in this match. Um,
Okay. All right.
Azusa didn't have that problem because she was getting her ass beat. There was nothing she could do.
That's fair. Well, hopefully this is the one. I mean, Rana has been very consistent, and
Yeah.
stylistic wise, if anybody's gonna get a good match out of Tomoka, it would be Rana. So let's hope. Our next match is Hanako versus Ice Ribbons Saran, who is a young wrestler who debuted, I'd say, within the last 2 years. I can't remember fully. But yeah,
Didn't she debut around the time Orion did? Because I remember there being like a annoying thing where it's like,
I
oh, two wrestlers who are very young, uh,
oh
and
yes, Saran
they
and
debuted
Miran,
around the
and
same time.
people kept getting it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, she's
but yeah,
coming up on
Saran.
her 3rd year anniversary next month.
All right, that's cool. But yeah, that should be interesting. Hanako is big. Saran does not look big.
Saran is not big.
Dynamics. No,
She's billed at 85 pounds.
it's crazy. Yeah. So big versus not big.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
correct.
Our next match is Rina and Azusa Inaba versus Hina and Miyu Amasaki. Rina asked Nanami to wrestle her. She's been challenging Hina for months, and they said, "You're going to get a preview tag on New Blood." So I imagine this leads to Hina versus Rina. But yeah, it's should be fun. I think Azusa and Miyu are both very good. So That'll bring something to it.
Yeah, and I know Rina and Azusa like tagging together. Like that's like a
Yeah,
thing that they do. And this will likely be the last time that Hina and Miyu get to tag together.
probably.
Young Queen's Quest. So, you know, I mean, they might end up in the same faction. Probably not. I would hope not. Hina probably needs to go somewhere else. Um, but yeah, no, it's an interesting match. I'm intrigued by it. Miyu's been
Okay.
working. I feel like she can work really well against the other two, and Hina is always kind of a wild card, but she's been pretty good from what I've seen of her since she came back. So,
Yeah.
you know, should be
Okay.
good.
Yes. Maybe Hina wins, possibly.
I could see it.
Oh,
I feel
that would,
like
but that's kind of the only way you get her.
we need to get to that point at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
like
like
she.
Hina gets a win over Rina.
So yeah. Our main event then is a New Blood Tag Team Championship match. This is for the freaks. This is for the sickos. Hanan and Saida defending against Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara. Guaranteed greatness. I mean, all four are killing it, especially in tag scenarios. This is going to be fantastic. And really, this is what makes the show. This is a weird New Blood card. There is very little on this that stands out. It just looks like a normal Stardom undercard. So you're gonna need stuff like this to really deliver.
Hold on, I wanna. So her and Sakakurara are 0-14 in tag team matches.
Right. Well, that's what secondary tag belts are for, baby.
Yeah. I mean, she could have. Aya Sakura could have tagged with her way more winninger partner, Yuna Mizumori, who she is 1-13 with. So
Wow.
that would have, big
No,
difference there.
Unimizumori isn't allowed on this brand anymore. She's graduated. You know, the
Yeah,
vague
she
sense of graduation that you get from this brand. Kind of like how Starlight Kid is just not doing it anymore.
Yuna Mizumori and Starlight Kid are in very different situations. But yes, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this should be really, really good. I actually really like.
Yes. There's like two good matches on there, and one maybe good. So it's
There's
not too bad.
like it's a dead card because it just feels like it's empty. Honestly,
Yeah.
uh,
For all of the partnerships they have, like, how did you not get more like out there wrestlers?
yeah. Where's Moran? Like really, like
Huh.
where are these? I don't know.
Kind of
I
weird,
mean, I
but
guess Catch the Wave is going on, so like a lot of the younger wrestlers
oh yeah.
aren't can't be asked to, you know. But
Well, I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
don't
They
know.
could wrestle, and then wrestle again in 2 days. That's not that crazy.
No, but freelancers.
Yeah, I suppose. The main event though here is on the 22nd of June. Stardom, the conversion at Yoyogi National Second Gymnasium.
It's really funny
Cool.
that Mayu's like the big dog on this poster, and she doesn't have like a. She's tagging with Momokogo.
Yeah, it's weird. Only one section is sold out for this show, so far. So that's
It's in
interesting.
Yoyogi. That's not good.
Yeah.
Yoyogi
Um,
should be a hotter ticket than this usually.
You'd think so. Now, they don't have any of this marked as like dark match, but I'm gonna assume this ends up a dark match. Rian versus Fukigen Death. Yeah, Fukigen's gonna win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The team of Tam Nakano, Aya Sakura, and Saka Kurara takes on Saki Kashima, Rani Yagami, and Tomoki Inaba of God's Eye.
This is an interesting match because like this is five losers and Tam Nakano. Well, I guess
Tomoki Inaba
Tomoka's
is
not going to
not a
lose,
loser. That is
but
insane.
but
Tomoka's
at,
probably winning. Given she
within
has a red
God's
belt
eye,
match.
this is true. But within God's eye, it's like, do you go? What I'm trying to say, like none of these are like
Yes.
especially protected in Stardom.
No.
I guess
Well,
I
Saki
guess Inaba,
Kashima has been. She's like very strong. But
but yeah, I agree. I think Inaba probably beats Aya or Carrara.
yeah, for sure. Oh my
Plus,
goodness, again.
Tam's been going through a Hiromu phase, so
I think the universe doesn't want us to discuss Queen's Quest dying, so
yeah,
we're just not
it's to
having
the
a break.
point where I'm watching Seedling.
It's crazy. Hopefully it won't be that bad now, but anyway, our next match is Mina Shirakawa and Hanako taking on Natsupoi and Yuna Mizumori. That could be fun, but it's a pretty standard
Uh,
tag.
Mina and
Mina.
Natsupoi could have fun.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I'm thinking. Mina over Yuna,
Yes.
Boy over Hanako, either one.
No, it's Mina over Yuna.
Okay.
Oh,
The
well,
special.
Hanako does lose a lot though now.
She does. She does. The special singles match, Starlight Kid and May Sarah. I don't really think it matters who wins here, because they'll probably both be in a big angle soon. That'll just kind of
If
negate it.
if May Sarah wins, then I think that kind of like stakes her place in the 5-star. I think that's
Oh,
kind of
that's
what
a good
this
point.
this
Yeah.
is
Maybe.
because she's the one that doesn't have a spot yet. Um,
Mm.
if she can get the like roll up or something here over Kid, she could easily be like, I should be in the 5-star automatically. I don't.
Yeah.
I
No,
I
I
think
get you.
that's all me. Uh,
Okay. I mean, I imagine this is like the match they're hanging their hat on as like, over delivering and making the cost of the pay per view worth it. Yeah, that's kind of what these two do. They're just pretty fantastic wrestlers. So
yeah, and them,
yeah,
them being a bit deeper into the card as of now, is kind of a good sign.
yeah,
So it
for
might go
sure.
to a draw. Might go 15.
Could do 15, yeah. Although there's a few matches after, so probably not. I'd imagine Oedo Tai Queen's Quest takes up a decent chunk of time.
Perhaps.
Yeah. We then have Runaway Wrestler presents Mayu and Momokogo versus oh yeah, sorry. Mayu and Momokogo with Mayu, the actress, versus Syuri and Ami Sore. So, gods are gonna win because Ami and Syuri win a lot, and
Where's
Momokogo's there.
Konami? Oh, she's on Ryogoku.
Yeah, Shamria Goku. So
Okay. So I was gonna say, I feel like this is a perfect spot for Shuri and Konami to win over
yeah, that's true.
Momokogo. But yeah.
All
Okay.
right,
Yeah, God's Eye win. Unless Mayu goes beast mode and beats Ami,
that'll be
because
pretty crazy.
her actress
It's
is
her
there.
movie, so.
Yeah.
Uh, After that, then we have the big stuff. Queen's Quest versus Oedo Tai, complete settlement final chapter. The 4 players other than the final loser are expelled from the unit in an elimination match. That is the name, and I'm sticking with it. It's Saya Kamitani, Azumi, Lady C, Miya Masaki, and Hina versus Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, Tekla, Ruaka, and Rina. So,
It is very funny that the clown will just also be there if
yeah,
Oedo Tai were to lose this.
you gotta have the clown.
Which is a
So,
shame, because I would like to see Kyoryu Miyama do anything different in Stardom
that's true.
at this
That's
point.
fair.
Even just
Um,
like a like shake up of the Fukigen character,
mhm.
of the Death character, I would kind of appreciate. Um, yeah, Queen's Quest are losing.
Yeah, the thing with Oedo Tai is there's like a 0% chance they lose because they just turned Tekla. Her and Momo are kind of like the focal points of the group lately. There's no
And
point in doing
Ruaka
that and then
also
disbanding
said
everything.
if she was like if Oedo Tai died or if she was kicked out of Oedo Tai, she would just retire. Um,
Yeah,
so
not happening.
yeah, no, I don't.
You're not rebuilding it around Rocka. That would be insanely silly.
See, that's what I was saying on Twitter. I think I mentioned it last week that like,
You
oh,
did,
well, if Ruaka's still hurt and Death is in her place, then Natsuko can just lose and her and Ruaka can rebuild quite
yeah. Hmm.
easily. Um, but because Ruaka's in this, it's not very possible for. And I was listening to Scott's show last week, and Trent kind of brought up a good point that it's very likely that if like, that the faction just dies, like this is like it's a
Hmm.
schematic thing that got like not
Semantic.
mistranslated, but like the nuance of it got mistranslated. It's very possible that the implication is when Lady C loses and she's the last member left, she just goes, I can't do this alone, obviously. Uh Queen's Quest is dead. Like the loser effectively has to be the one to say that the
Okay,
group is dead.
so that's why I think it's really interesting to see whether it comes down to Azumi or Saya, because they're the 2 big candidates to me.
Yeah.
Because Saya and Momo are teasing swerves and double turns and all this shit, and it would be peak stardom for her to just go, I'm the last one left. I don't want this faction, and joins Oedo Tai. If it's Saya. That
Yeah.
is how I envision this going, is Saya, I laid this out last week. Saya turns on Azumi, is the last one left and goes, I don't want this. I don't want the group. So, um,
Oh wait, they're just gonna do the same thing that Momo did.
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, pretty
DQ.
much. That's
Like
basically what I'm
like
thinking.
Saya probably gets DQ'd.
Mhm.
She probably doesn't take the fall laying down. She probably gets DQ'd as the last member.
Yeah.
And by DQ'd, I mean she probably jumps the ref.
I
You
don't
know?
know. It might say it's no. I don't think it's. Jesus, I can speak. I don't think there is disqualification.
Really?
It says
Why
no
would it?
foul play, no counting out of the ring. So I think
Oh,
that's
that's
no count
interesting.
out. No. Now you can get eliminated by over the top rope, which is another interesting thing.
Yeah,
So
I
that might
want.
be how they get a
Okay, it's
few
very
people out.
funny if they put that and Saya Kamatani still gets DQ'd. Um,
They will. Saya
but
might like jump off the apron or something. You know.
yeah, she could always just like, yeah,
I'm leaning towards that because I think if Azumi's the last one standing, I don't know. I feel like her rebuilding Queen's Quest doesn't work if she's maybe possibly leaving for Marigold or AEW, which seems like the most likely future. Whereas her being part of a new
plus
group,
her rebuilding Queen's Quest without Miyu feels
yeah, without Miyu
kind of dumb.
Amasaki, and especially then you'd have like Kid in Queen's Quest and Suzu in Queen's Quest, and I'm not sure
Which
it
I
fits
don't
all of
hate.
them.
I think that would be an
I don't either.
interesting.
But
I
when I
think that would
look
be
at
an interesting
those,
way to
when
do
I
it.
look at
But
them specifically, I think something new fits them all a lot better. Something that fits their youthful energy, and
yeah,
then kind of what they bring. So if it is Saya or not Saya, if it is Azumi, Rian, Mei Sarah, Suzu, and maybe Kid as a new group coming out of this, um, I think there is that's not Queen's Quest. That's something different. Um, and so I don't know. I think Saya being the last one left makes the most sense to me because that she can just swerve and kill Queen's Quest. Because I don't see why you do all the shit they did if you're not going to disband it. Taro being like, "No, I don't want to disband a faction," and then he gets tricked, and then Queen's Quest is like trying to
which is
survive, and
very
then
dumb.
Saya just does it anyway.
All this is very dumb. I do appreciate, like, I thought that the contract switching was like a good way to go about it, but like, I really wish that this was all done more tastefully, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, because it does just kind of feel like we're here now. Um,
hmm
remember the high speed championship?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Saya has that. A heel
They
Saya as high speed champion. Oh god.
on the All Together show, Walker was talking about, like, he was talking about like it was a high speed championship match because it, like, most of the Azumi Kid matches have been. Not most, but like, you know, four of them. And I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot that belt exists and isn't on any
Mhm.
high speed wrestler. Um, yeah, I don't know. Saya, I called it last year that Momo's bat is like Chekhov's gun, and I loved the way that they went about that, where it was like, oh, it was, and Saya hit Momo. I have a
Mhm.
feeling the exact same thing will happen, but Saya commits and hits Azumi, and that's how that goes.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
there's
will
an
say it
interesting
is,
path of Kevin being left and redoing it,
yes.
but I don't know about that.
I mean, giving Amasaki that kind of it would be a bump, like it would be a you know, even if she did have to be the one that kills Queen's Quest and is like, I can't do this, um, it would be kind of like uh, an upgrade for
Interesting.
her. That it's like she's you know, the last one, the last member of Queen's Quest, Miyu Amasaki.
Ooh. Yeah, I kind of like that. It'd be cool.
I don't know, it's a possibility. Um, yeah, it sucks because like I would have liked a rebuild, um, like a rebuild of Oedo Tai or something like that, but that's just not going to happen. And yeah, it's a shame.
I think regardless of what happens in the match, the the only way to like have people not be upset is if you immediately start something new, you know? Um
Starlight
like if
Kid comes out
Azumi Yeah,
and
like if Azumi is
consoles
kicked
Azumi.
out and there's no more Queen's Quest, then Kid is like, "Hey, let's join together." You can have Suzu and Mesera show up. Give people something,
Something new.
right? Don't do because I don't want 7 unaffiliated wrestlers fucking around on the house shows for the next month going, where will they go? Oh no, who knows? Give us
I
something.
mean, it's very possible that they just Noah it or most companies it and create a more, factions are not a inherent thing,
I
and they
guess, but
but they would
I mean,
I feel like they'd have to kill like God's Eye too. Like I
yeah.
feel like you can't just kill
But
Queen's
if
Quest
the
and
Queen's
say
Quest
that.
members are just going to team together anyway as unaffiliated, what's the point then? You know? So I feel like you need to have something.
This is off topic. I apologize. I forgot how fucking stacked Los Egos is as a as a
Yeah,
whole unit.
it's
Sorry.
crazy.
Um, I have it in like the little corner in the background that I'm watching right now. I
Okay.
was like, holy fuck, this is a crazy faction right now. It's a shame that half of them are either retiring or half retired or whatever. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I would definitely bring out May Sarah and Azumi after this match. Um, or not May Sarah and Azumi, May Sarah and Starlight Kid. Uh,
Mhm.
or at least like I don't know. Uh, For me, I definitely see Lady C going to God's Eye.
Yeah.
Um, Hina,
Stars, maybe.
yeah, I could see Hanan bringing her in.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Miyu, I would hope would go with Azumi. And I have a feeling Starlight Saya is turning heel and
Hmm.
joining Oedo Tai, which sucks for everybody involved, by the way. I feel like we've just kind of like been like, this is happening, but we haven't talked about how like that's bad for Saya. It is bad for Tekla. It's bad for
Well, I
Momo.
feel like we
It
did
is
that a year
very bad for
ago.
Waka.
Like a year ago, we did the thing of Saya is the least away to tie wrestler of the bunch.
Yeah.
So if they do turn her, which it kind of looks like they will, um,
They
I
saw
don't know.
that picture of her with the mist coming out of her mouth, and we're
Yeah,
like, that's the only thing we want from Sai Kamitani. Uh,
yeah,
and yeah,
might as well. I don't know. We'll have to discuss it when it happens. I think there's just no chance Oedo Tai loses. Because a world where Momo turns back to Queen's Quest and like leads them to glory is really cool, but just
won't
added
happen.
Tekla. You're just renewing Micah and Tekla as the focal points of Oedo Tai. It doesn't really make sense to kill them. Whereas this whole thing is we don't have a Tommy, we're screwed. So I don't know. One faction looks like it's on the up and the other doesn't. So that's kind of how I approach it.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. Um, Moving on from that, though, our next match is a Goddess of Stardom Championship match. Hazuki and Koguma defend against Hanan and Saya Ida. So, I mean, FWC probably retain because I don't see them like having both belts on one team. It doesn't make much sense to me. So, FWC.
Unless they're killing New Blood.
I doubt it if they just brought it back.
Yeah, but it seems a bit uninspired. It's very possible that was like the last hurrah.
Maybe. I think we'll know more by the time this show happens, and then obviously we'll be able to make a judgment. But even then, I don't
Yes.
know if Wingori are gonna win. Hanan's kind of been on a weird run since the Cinderella, so I don't know.
Oh, Wingori isn't going to win. I'm just saying it's a
Oh yeah,
possibility.
okay,
FWC
yeah,
definitely wins.
okay, all right. Our next match is the Wonder of Stardom Championship match. Syuri Ano defends against Mika Iwata of Sendai Girls Pro Wrestling. They have kept the Sendai Girls World Title out of every part of this because Iwata is losing, and that's a pretty strong way of avoiding telling the world that your champion is about to lose. So Anna was going to win, but that's a pretty
Mako
cool match.
Mako needs to get her fucking ship in check, man. She needs
She
to
seems like she will. She wrestled
get
that
her
one
house
match.
in
I was
check.
like, I'm ready to go again, and I'm like, oh, Mika, count your days.
Yeah.
That's all right though. This would be a great match. I think these two work really
Yeah,
well
it should be
together.
pretty good.
If you've never
Um
seen Mika Iwasa, she's pretty great. So you're in for a good time.
Yeah, and they have pretty solid chemistry. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
Yeah, they had a
it's
match
not
earlier
like
this
a
year, didn't they? It was great.
yeah, it was pretty solid, and they're great in tag team matches.
Mm,
So yeah,
too.
I don't think they're gonna disappoint. Uh, we'll just see if like the vibe is off because outsider matches in Stardom have that problem pretty frequently.
Sometimes,
Um,
yeah.
so we'll see if that affects it or not.
Our main event then, at least as of now, is the World of Stardom Championship match. Micah defends against Xena. So I think this could be a really good match and another kind of great defense in Micah's catalog. But Xena is kind of levels below the red belt currently, push wise. I think the build for this has been very not befitting of a new champion. So it's best for Micah to just retain and keep the peace and hope that Xena looks good enough in the loss that she comes away with some stuff,
Mm,
which they can do very easily. I think Micah's good at that, and I think
yeah.
Xena is just fresh enough that no matter what she does, it'll be like, oh, holy shit, that was cool. So I kind of think this will do its purpose, but it's definitely not the hottest world title match ever. But it's fine for
It's a shame that
the
it's
Obi.
for the red belt. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but I feel like Xena just like fits the white belt way more.
Hmm.
And I don't think she would feel as out of her depths if she was challenging for the white belt.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited for it. I think Micah, top 15 red belt champion of all time. I think she can
You
get.
love that. You came with it, and you
It's
just
a
never
great
stopped.
bit. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my magnum opuses. Um, some I won't get into it. But yeah, no, I think this could be a really good match. Mike is obviously winning and then defending against Inaba, but you know, I'm
Okay.
I'm excited for it. I'm I'm
It's
cautiously excited for it. I'll say.
wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's that show. Gonna be an
Hmm.
interesting show. I think it'll deliver, match quality wise, and might just be that Queen's Quest versus Oedo Tai puts a dagger in a lot of people's hearts.
Yeah, that would
Because
be
I've
hard to
I've kind
follow.
of been yes, definitely. I've been thinking this though. I really feel like they need to stick the landing of Queen's Quest versus Oedo Tai because there was a lot of pushback to the disband stipulation, and if you're gonna go ahead and do it, you really run the risk of pissing people off. So they really
Yeah,
have to do that properly, or I think people are gonna just drop Stardom to a degree.
it would. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, I said it the second that this story kind of like came up. That it's like if they don't figure out a way to do this well, uh especially with Marigold powering up, it'll be hard to continue being a weekly viewer of Stardom, especially with the house shows just being reduced in quality, frankly,
Mm,
in recent months. Um, there's concern there, undoubtedly, and I definitely think that sticking the landing is insanely important here. Um,
mm, and
the
difficult.
show is a pretty big, litmus test for Stardom. Obviously, like for me, it's this show and the 5 star is gonna kind of tell me if you know I want to keep being, actively invested in this company. Uh, which I know sounds a bit intimidating for listeners of Stardom Quest currently. Um, but it's just frankly
Well,
that's where it's at.
we will power through either way, for the most part, but I think even just beyond us, I do see a rising sentiment of I don't watch Stardom much anymore, and I have no interest. And it's like if you have no interest already, they killed Queen's Quest, and it's just nonstop heat and depressing stuff. There's going to be nothing to get those people back. Um, so I'm very interested in how they do this and how the reception goes down because I think it's really important. There's too much wrestling now to not, you know, to get away with not doing it properly. Because not even Marigold, but Sendai Girls is more accessible than ever. People are just gonna watch Sendai Girls
Wrestle
instead.
Universe is fucking these motherfuckers up. I'm not gonna lie.
Literally, yeah. Like Sendai Girls is crazy. TJPW has
Except
its own little
uh,
core. Whatever you think of TJPW, you
it's having a
cannot lie
rough
and
year, to
say
be fair.
Rika Tatsumi and Miyu Watanabe is not multiple times more interesting than anything on this show,
Molly,
right?
what the fuck? My dog just barked at me.
See, even
Oh,
your dog goes into Rika and
yeah,
Miyu.
my dog's a big Mayu Watanabe fan. 1 second.
Yeah, but I think it's a difficult scene overall for Taro to be competing in, and if they don't do this right, I worry about some people just kind of lapsing from Stardom. But that's that. We'll have to see how it goes next week. Um, I'll just wait for Dylan to come back and move on.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on, man.
All right.
This is gonna be it's gonna be a rough night. Like this,
Yes,
I'm debating if I even want to stay up for it. I feel like I should. I mean,
definitely do.
Think about it. This could be the last episode of
Think
Stardom Quest, in which
it
Queen's
won't be.
Quest exists.
Oh well, yeah, probably. Um, you
Like
should watch it
in which
live
the
though. Think about
no,
the
I plan on it.
messages from Scott. Just picture them in your mind.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Mm.
Scott's
Entertainment
more
in its
torn
own
up
right.
about a lot of this than we are. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, poor Scott. He deserves it though. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. All right. Well, that is Stardom. It's time to move on to Marigold. There are 2 shows to review and 1 to preview. A
Is there
few
only one
little
to preview?
bits. Yeah, I think they've only got 1
I thought there
card
was
up,
two.
as far as I know. This is a double header, and I'm dumb. Um, I guess we might touch on it. Dave in the Observer is like, yeah, there's interest in more people to do Marigold, but I don't know if that's from Japan side. I think maybe WWE wrestlers might want to do it. I know Viper said she wanted to. Bayley said she wanted to. But I don't think wrestlers are ever going to say no in public. For PR, they're
Yeah.
going, no, I don't want to work there. Of course, Bayley's going to say, yeah, I'm the champion. I'm going to represent WWE or
Yeah,
whatever.
I feel like Seth Rollins is like one of the only, and he's not gonna wrestle on Marigold, obviously. He's one of the only
Mm,
wrestlers who's just like, nah, I don't want to do that shit, man.
yeah,
Like,
he'd
cause
do it in a
he
company
famously
line
gets
way.
shit for doing that shit, for
Yeah,
being like, I don't want to fucking do that.
yeah. He's the biggest bootlicker. He can make it
Yeah,
work. And Bayley is too. Bayley's a very public WWE bootlicker. She knows where her checks are cashed. Like, and that's fair.
mhm.
But yeah, even she like towed the company line. So I don't know. I know Dave said it, and I'd imagine there will be WWE wrestlers in future for big shows. I can imagine Rossi being like, "Hey, can I have Viper or something?" Um,
I could see him getting over a younger wrestler for like a tournament at some point.
Maybe if he has interest, but it depends. Maybe you got Tiffany Stratton. I think he could make Sari's dreams come true by asking for Tiffany Stratton.
That'd be pretty
Um,
sick.
yeah, that's kind of from Dave. I don't know how much I'd read into it. I imagine some wrestlers are interested, but
Now with the
Rossi
way that
himself might
WWE
not
is
be.
moving, I feel like Saudi versus Tiffany Stratton is like shockingly possible.
I think Tiffany is winning Money in the Bank though, and the belt. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that is a problem.
So it would have to be like next year when she
Yeah.
drops it.
But
You
like
know,
I'm thinking like Frankie Kazarian was on fucking NXT last night, bro. What the fuck is like what?
he was
Like
really.
that's not what that's not how
It's,
this what?
yeah, weird times. But
Frankie
yeah,
Kazarian of the Addiction? Like yeah, no,
yeah. I think it's a lot on Rossi. Like, what does Rossi want? That's gonna be the big decider.
yes.
Um,
And
but
also
anyway,
what Sonny wants because he is their scout.
yeah.
Outside of like the big dogs, like it's pretty much just Sonny.
Mhm.
So it depends on how much
Um,
NXT's been watching.
onto the review section though. Our first
Mm.
show was on the 18th of June. This was in the Kyoto KBS Hall. They did 357 fans. That I think was 20 to 40 less than Stardom did recently in the KBS Hall. So if you want to keep track of the war, Stardom and Marigold are basically neck and neck everywhere. Because Nagoya, I think they were 40 or 20 higher than Stardom. So they're both basically the same.
Yeah.
Um, Bozilla in our opener beat Komomo Minami in 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Pretty entertaining squash. Komomo was
This
just
felt
trying
like
to do shit,
90 seconds
and
at most.
yeah, like Bozilla just killed her. It was what it was. It was very impactful for Bozilla, at least.
Yeah. That's something that I thought about. I was like, oh yeah, poor Komo Minami. She doesn't even get to like actually wrestle in her second match ever.
Yeah.
She just has to get beat pillar to post and then die in 90 seconds.
Um, our next match was a Marigold Superfly Championship Tournament first round match. Misa Matsui beat Myla Grace in just under 7 minutes to progress to the final. I didn't watch this. I was picking and choosing with Marigold because
Mm.
I thought we would record yesterday. Then we had to record today. And Marigold only went up yesterday and today. So I kind of had to pick and choose what I watched. And yeah, Misa Matsui versus Myla Grace was not on the list.
I watched it. Milo was not actively bad in this match. She
Oh my
just
God.
wasn't good.
Okay, well,
Um,
that's an improvement.
I would say this. In fact, the note I wrote was Misa's really a special wrestler. Gave Mila her best match yet. I rated this a 5.5, which is not good. But better than the other Mila
Mhm.
matches I've seen so far.
Okay,
So
stuff.
Yeah, I thought it
Um,
was good enough. I think Misa kind of kept the pace and forced Mila to kind of go a certain speed, and I think
Which
that
I feel like
was a
Mila is better
bit
at
fun.
that. She's used to the back and forth indie style a little bit
hmm
more than what they do in Japan, so maybe that just fits her better. That's
Yeah,
what her matches
it
are
felt
like
like
here, you know?
making her go faster, even though she was still slow and she was still lacking behind. It made it feel like she had a bit more muscle
Yeah,
memory. You know what I mean?
definitely.
Like it was a little bit more like second nature, which
Mm,
is the biggest problem that she's had. Is it feels like everything she's doing, she's thinking about and failing at. Like, does that make sense? Where it's like nothing
yes.
feels natural to her for some
Just too
reason.
much time to process. Mm,
Yeah, and I felt
yeah.
like this is one match where that wasn't an issue. It didn't translate to being a good match, but it
Mhm.
translated to being a all right performance for Mila, and
Alright,
Misa's really good. So
cool. Our next match was also in the Superfly Championship tournament. Natsumi Shozuki beat Zeta Steel in 10 minutes. This was very indie wrestling coded.
yes, but it was very
Lots of
funny.
Zeta, yeah,
I laughed a lot at it.
lots of Zeta talking to pop the crowd. Lots of like, even the opening exchange was ripped right out of an indie show. Like that exact technical exchange happens at least once
Yes.
per indie show. Um, it was very indie. It felt very much like this was a Zeta Steel match, and I thought she did quite well. And basically, it just built to Shizuki kind of powering up and beating the crap out of her to get the crowd happy. Like, and
Yeah,
I think they did a good job.
I feel like Shizuki did a great job here because it was
Mhm.
a Zeta Steel match. And I feel like she did as well as she could to really make that
Yeah.
work in Japan. Which was always like what we were kind of talking about is that like Zeta Steel is not a Japan wrestler, like
Mhm.
inherently, like that's just not her style. Similar to, I mean, I'd probably take Zeta over Anna Jay right now, but similar to Anna Jay, when all those reports where it's like, oh, maybe she goes to, it's like that's not what she's going to be good at. Is like what you would learn in Japan. That's not what is Anna Jay's bag. So that's kind of how we expected it from Zeta. Damn. That's kind of how we expect from Zeta, but I thought that Natsumi did a great job kind of like making this work. And I loved the open exchange where like Zeta slapped her and she's like, please don't slap me. You better not slap me. And then they go for a tie up and Natsumi just fucking slaps her in the head. I just like popped so hard. Zeta gets all upset. Like I like that Zeta's good at what she does. She's not the most crisp wrestler.
Yeah.
Um but she's good enough and she has the comedic timing enough to make her matches like worth watching. Like even if they
Yeah.
aren't always great, I didn't think this was like a super well worked match,
I think
but I was happy with it.
I think I personally underestimated a Sasha Banks, uh, what would you call it, disciple?
Yeah.
Because yeah, she is a Mercedes Moné disciple through and through. Of course, somebody like that was going to adjust to Japan.
Yeah,
You know,
a Mercedes Monet, super fan who loved Bullet Club and watched all of their best stuff.
does she like Bullet Club?
That
I don't.
she said 14-year-old me would be going insane if she knew that I'm going to
Ah,
Japan
okay,
cuz I was a huge Bullet Club fan.
nice.
And yeah. So yeah,
Really, I didn't know she
her
was like a
her
real
her
student of the game. If I'd known that, I probably would have been like, "Oh, she's gonna adjust." But that's
she
pretty cool,
yeah, she Prime Bullet Club big fan of. Um
right?
which, fair. Like that's fair.
Mhm.
So I respect her for that. And yeah, I am liking her run.
Yeah,
Um just generally. And then
she's
after the
doing good.
match is kind of important. Shizuki established herself as kind of the asshole against Misa Matsui. Uh Misa like went
Yeah.
for a handshake. Shizuki just like yelled at her on the mic and just fucking pushed her, slapped her in the head.
Oh yeah. The Misa chase is gonna be great. So
Yes, Shizuki's
we're up
definitely
for it.
winning the belt first.
Yes. Oh yeah. As she should. I feel like most of Marigold is just like setting up the big chases that are gonna happen. Like we're
Yeah.
setting
I mean
Mariah for a
that's why
big
we're
chase.
thinking like is
Utami.
Saori winning the belt?
I haven't thought that, but
I'm thinking that.
maybe, possibly.
She is the ace.
That's true. Speaking of Sari, though, she was in our next match. Mai Sakurai and Miko Iono wrestled to a 15-minute time limit draw with Nagisa Nozaki and Sari. Uh, Rossi was back in his bag with the draws this weekend. Kind of interesting. I can see why you did it here because you don't want Mai taking back-to-back big pinfalls. But
Especially because this was a build to the Syuri singles, so you wanted her
yeah,
to look competent heading into that.
I would have preferred a finish, but if the draw meant we got the Sari Aono stuff at the end, I think I can live with that because that was fantastic. That little
Yes.
tease of Sari and Miku Aono. I think that alone is enough to offset the disappointment of not having a winner or loser. So yeah, I don't want them to get too reliant on draws again, but I don't mind it in
I
this
don't
case.
mind the way that they're doing it so far. The problem was that they had to draw at least every single show,
That's
there
true.
for like a year
Well,
straight.
they will get
I
a lot
feel
of
like
leeway because they are still establishing everything, and it's like,
yes.
okay, you will have to do draws every now and again because you can't do X, Y, and Z, but just don't use them as a crutch,
And
basically.
I have a
And I don't think he
feeling
has.
that they did the second draw, this draw on the Nagoya show for a specific reason.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so like I don't really mind it. I'm
Yeah.
you know it's okay. I
This
like
was a
this
strong
match a
match
lot
though.
actually.
Yeah, it was good. I thought Nagisa Nozaki was good. Um,
Yes,
the
finally.
Nagisa disrespecters, I told them, I was like, she's just waiting for the right time, and apparently that was in Kyoto in a random tag match. Because I thought
Yeah,
she was really good in this, but
I
this was
thought
a
she was
Saturday
kind
show.
of. I felt like Nozaki was really like the one who showed up because like Saori is
Mm,
always great and Aono is always great and my Sakura is pretty consistent. If she has good wrestlers to wrestle against, she's pretty good. So like Nozaki was like the variable that I was like I really hope that she shows up and she did. I thought she did a great job and she did do a lot more in this match than she did in the other Saori tag she had, for
mm,
example, in Shinkiba. Um, few weeks ago, last month, whenever. Um, so yeah, I was really a fan of what Nozaki did here. As I said last week, or I alluded to last week, being a Nagisa Nozaki fan is harder than Juice Robinson. You know what I mean? Like it's difficult. But this one,
That's good.
she made me proud here. Number 21,
All
shouts
right.
out Nagisa
Hell
Nozaki.
yeah.
Also,
Do you
I
want to
loved
say?
the Saved by the Bell where it was Aono and Sari closing it up. That was so good, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Sari hitting the Ode to Ito, the foot stomp, and Aono getting saved. Like like Sari was just like, "Fuck, man!" Like you could see like the frustration. Like she emotes very well.
Mm.
And I thought that the finish and all that was a lot of fun.
All right. I didn't get to see the main event. I skipped both of
Really,
the trios matches just for time purposes because they seemed the least story centric to me.
this was
So
sick.
I have heard, I'm very disappointed. But it was Utami Hayashishita Mirai and Koki beating Chikagoto, Naoya Ishikawa, and Victoria Yuzuki. Just a note, Nanai Takahashi was sick again and missed both shows this past weekend. So now
Now,
Ishikawa was like, "She's ducking me, man.
no,
What's
the funny thing
happening?
is,
You keep
she
making a
was
match.
saying that
You keep
that
running."
Nanai was ducking her, and I think that's really funny. But she also, her and Gochika were both yelling passion, since Nanai was meant to be
That's
their
incredible.
teammate. So they were both like, yeah, they were both channeling the passion.
I love that.
Um, but yeah, I thought this match was so fucking good. Uh, Utami, Mirai, and Koki work very well together, and I want to say
What a
that
power
before
trio.
I get into it because they worked very well together. But Gochika, Naoshikawa, and Izuki, the Losers Club, if you will,
Hmm.
so good. They worked so well together. They really, this match was really like a showcase of them because obviously they were going to lose, and obviously those three are like the losers effectively. Chikagoto wins a bit, but like compared to Koki, who she will always be compared to, she is the other, right? So the losers team was just so good. Now Ishikawa continues to impress, as does Goto for that matter. And Yuzuki has that super rookie fire that you want in like the closing stages of a match. So she did a great job opposite Utami, who got the win, I believe. Uh, or no, it was Mirai. It was Yuzuki and Mirai. That was what it was. Great combo together near the end. I really love this match. I thought this match was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Oh, and
That
also
was
Mirai's Southpaw Lariat never stops being fucking insane.
yeah. You're right. You're right. So that was an okay show, a good okay to good show, I thought.
Yeah, I had fun with it.
From what I've seen, obviously I didn't see the main event, which kind of hurts, but good
I
time.
think you would have a generally higher opinion of the show if you saw the main event because it was a
Okay,
good total package in my opinion.
fair enough. Our second show then to review was on the 16th of June. This was in Nagoya. They did 687 fans here, one of the highest numbers in Marigold's history so far. In the opener, Chiyaki and Misa Matsui beat Myla Grace and Zeta Steel. Kind of can't say I'm surprised there.
But
But I
Chiaki
only
won
saw
over
the
Mila Grace.
last. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, because Myla Grace has been protected to a degree, but I did only see the second half of the show from Sari onwards. So,
I saw it from Ishikawa onwards. The
oh,
tag.
okay, so just before me.
Yeah.
Um, right. So that was Chiaki getting a big win for her team,
Oh,
or not
and Zeta
for her
Steel
team, but
also backstage. Zeta Steel's like, I didn't lose this time. That's
it's
you.
great.
That's tough.
I love Zeta.
And Mila Grace goes like, man, if we're gonna win those tag team titles, we gotta get serious. And Zeta's like, the fuck are you talking about?
What?
Like, okay. Uh, Zeta
They're
just
called
walks
the
away.
Twin Stars, Myla. The Twin Stars. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no,
Although they
I
changed
thought that was.
they did change the name of the Superfly belt already,
They
so maybe
better
they'll
not
change
fucking
the
change
tags.
the Twin Stars. I like the Twin Stars.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope not. But our next match was Chikioto beating Komomo Minami and Victoria Yuzuki in 3 minutes. They said y'all ain't allowed out there.
Yeah, I was
Komomo
gonna watch it.
Minami
Then I was
must
like,
have
wait a minute.
like one lung with how short her matches are.
It's funny because she had like a 14-minute like debut, and then they're like, oh, you got blown up. You don't get to wrestle more than 3 minutes anymore.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
you're on that WWE speed shit. This is a tie-in. Um, but yeah, no, I thought this, or I didn't watch this match. I don't know why I was about to say an opinion.
I have no idea.
I didn't see it. I did see that Chikagoto beat Komomo Minami with a roll up, and Chikagoto is too tall. She rolled her up into the ropes and just had to like struggle to like grab all of her limbs to make sure she didn't touch the rope.
Very fair. Um,
Yeah.
the next match was Koki and Utami Hayashishita beating Nao Ishikawa and Natsumi Shozuki in 14 minutes, which is quite long. I have
Now
heard rave
Shikawa's
reviews
on
for
her
now
shit,
from
bro.
this one. Yeah, I have heard rave reviews of her because her shirt got torn and she was like, "I'm gonna kill all of you. Why did you ruin my gear?"
Yeah. So at
Crazy.
first she pushed Natsumi Shizuki and was like, "No,
Uh-huh.
I'm starting," because she fucking hates actresses. And then she called out Koki. She outworked Koki. Koki then ripped her gear on accident. Now rolled out to the outside, got a T-shirt, stood up, and was like, "You ripped my fucking gear," and just started beating the fuck out of Koki. And then Utami had to like stop her, pull her by the hair, and get her in, and the match continued. And yeah, I just thought that now Shikawa was the star of the show. Like by far, the crowd was super hot for her and Utami as a closing stretch. Um, yeah, she's the bitter idol, even though I don't think she's an idol anymore. At least, um, she feels like an idol. But I appreciated her work here. I thought it was very very good, and as was Utami's, as was everybody's in this match. I think Shozuki, this is one instance where she didn't really get much to do, so she wasn't
Yeah.
like notable, but usually she is. And yeah, I was happy with this match. I thought Koki did well as well.
All right. The next match was Sari
Oh, and
beating.
very quickly, after the match, now Shikawa also pushed Shizuki away. Shizuki's like,
Oh
"Man, fine,
goodness.
whatever, fuck you," leaves. And now Shikawa gets up and just starts attacking Koki again. And Utabi, who like has no beef with now, just like is like kind of like trying to separate her, and then now like fucking forearms her, and Utabi's like, "All right," and Utami beats the fuck out of her. Like Utami was trying to peacekeep, and now Shikawa's like, "Nah, I hate you too," and Utami's like, "Oh, okay,
Now
let's see how
is
that works for you."
just now is the main character, which is
Yeah,
incredible.
no,
But
she
like
is.
she's the one. She's beefing with
She's great.
everybody. She's so interesting, so engaging. I was disappointed to not get to see both of her matches, but time constraints are time constraints. And I look forward to what she does in the future.
Hmm.
In our next match, Sari beat Mai Sakurai in 11 minutes. I'm going to take my victory lap on Mai Sakurai again. I said when she debuted in Stardom that I saw the vision, and I think she's fulfilling that vision. She's never going
It
to be the
took a few
best wrestler in
years,
the world,
but
but I think she's a very solid, puts in effort every time, can do really well when she's with the right person. I thought there was a lot of good stuff here between her and
Damn, that was
Sari.
I tried to hide
That
that
was
burp. That did
crazy,
not
yeah.
hide. Yeah,
She
my bad.
obviously was not on the level of Sari. There's a moment or two where she kind of messed up, but like that'll happen. And I thought this was if anything, I thought there was less Sari here than I would have expected. Like she didn't maul her. It was very even.
Yeah, they
Um,
both kind of laid their shit in enough,
yeah,
at the same level. That is one thing that I do want. When I watch my Sakurai, in the words of Sammy Callahan, I want stiff. That's what
yeah.
I want from my Sakurai singles matches. If you don't give
But she
me
can
that,
do it.
then I
Her
don't get
boots
it.
are crazy as well. Like her
Yeah,
big
that's
boots
the
kind of
thing
look
is that
crazy.
it's like she has that layer to her.
Mm.
So like I was happy with what she did in this match. Um, Another great Sari match, another day, another like what do you? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just what you get.
fair.
Yeah, like you said, my Sakurai did kind of fumble a certain couple high spots that she was going for, which happens. It's okay. I thought this was really good, really well worked generally, and my Sakurai, I will agree with you. I'll eat crow. My Sakurai has been doing really great work in Marigold, especially.
She
This
does
year
need
has
to bring
been
back the
this
cat.
year has been her best year, because
That is fair.
she had her match with Chan Yoda, which was mainly
Oh
Chan Yoda,
yeah,
but she was also good.
that's
Um,
true.
and she's had a great start to Marigold. So
All
yeah,
right,
I'm very, very happy
bring
with
back the cat
what
though.
she's doing.
Definitely
Yes, I
missing
agree.
the cat. We then had
Whatever the fuck.
we had a little presentation for the Marigold United National Belt, which looks amazing. All four wrestlers are in the tournament got to have an entrance, and they stood with the belt and whatnot. Kind of just extra for the sake of extra. I liked it. Mariah's
Yeah,
theme
Misa
played
Matsui
for it
was
all.
pissed.
Yes.
Misa Matsui's like,
But yeah,
why the
like
fuck didn't I get a goddamn
that's fair. Honestly, that's favoritism. But yeah, Mariah's theme
Yeah,
playing throughout it was kind of ominous. It's like, oh, Mariah's like being set up for this. So that's
a
kind
little
of
bit.
interesting. But then we had Bazilla beat Nagisa Nozaki in 7.5 minutes to advance to the final. Um, Probably the weakest Bozilla match I can recall because it was different. This was really pushing the boundaries of what she can do. She actually had to like
Yeah.
sell and like go more 50-50 because you can't just squash Nagisa Nozaki. She's a
Yeah, and I,
respected
I fear
veteran.
I fear people will look at this match as like a failure of Nagisa Nozaki. I saw this as like, okay, Bozilla has room to improve as a
Yeah.
singles wrestler. She
I mean,
definitely
what
is a
did people
great tag
expect with
wrestler.
Bozilla? Like, did they think she would be
Yeah.
perfect? Because that's crazy, you know? She is gonna have to push her comfort zone sometimes, and this was probably the end result of that, but
Mhm.
I thought they both did well considering this is probably one of the first 50-50 actually having to sell matches Mozilla has probably ever had, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
And then they
I thought
considered it.
it was all right.
Mm,
I mean, there were there were issues, but I didn't think any of them were glaring. I thought it was a good match generally.
mhm.
Um, Bozilla busting out a pile driver was pretty sick. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
pretty happy with that. I thought that was a cool finish. Yeah, that was a match that happened.
Alright. We then had, a draw between Mika Ono and Mirai in our other first round match. They went to a 15-minute draw initially, then they reset and went to a 5-minute draw. So, I don't know if you wanna talk about it as 2 separates or, like, one whole thing, because I thought
It's a bit
5-minute
of
segment
both.
was way better than the 15.
Really,
Um,
I kind of feel inverted.
I don't know.
Um,
The 15 was very, "Oh, this is what Mirai does," her pacing. Um,
I think
and
okay.
then
I think issues with the pacing and issues with the work are different though,
but
because
then, like,
I
the
felt like
5-minute thing was just all go, and it's like,
I
we're
felt
gonna
like
go at it.
the 15 was super like really well done, just like technically, which I think is a thing between me and you. I think I like the more, you know, technical, small aspect things more than you do. So I thought that that was really well done. I thought Mirai targeting the arm and Aono targeting the leg, and Aono succeeding because she targeted the leg better than Mirai targeted the arm. I thought that was a cool through line for the first 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Um, Aono was throwing the leg kicks and the lariats. And I was just like, man, she is a special wrestler. Uh,
I was gonna say
when
that, I'll get to it later, but
but yeah, that
last
was
few
more so in
minutes.
the 5 minutes. I feel like the
Mm.
5 minutes probably could have been a bit more intense. just generally. But
Possibly,
also they have a rematch this week, so
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, I thought one thing I will get out of the way. I think if anybody didn't know what Miko Aono was about, this weekend was her announcing her arrival. Like, if you don't
Mhm.
see her as a top tier wrestler in Marigold after this, I don't know what's going to convince you. You know, she had herself a weekend. Thought she was great here against Mirai, and I thought Mirai was great too. But I did love the reset. I thought, them it really ramped up the intensity and almost made this into a feud in the space of 20 minutes. Like they were
Which I
just
think was the goal, right?
probably, yeah, like this is maybe a long-term plan for the white belt or something where they're just going to be at each other's throats the entire time.
Mhm.
Because they did kind of build and build and build consistently to where that last 5 minutes was just them throwing everything they had at each other. And even when they still couldn't get the win, they were trying to like scrap. And it was like, okay, this is a personal feud now, like just like that with how they built
Yeah.
throughout the show. So I thought
Man,
they did a really good job of establishing all of that in 20 minutes.
I've done a good job of reducing my random like spot calling in my notes, because I don't think anybody needs me to like recall every spot of the match,
No.
unless I find something especially funny or especially cool. In the last 5 minutes, Mirai hit Alano with a Watanabe screwdriver, and I was like, "Holy fuck, that's so sick!" Where it's like she gets her in the back suplex and then throws her down with like a one arm
Mhm.
power bomb. Mariah hit that, and I was like, "Dude, do that all the time, please." I love that. Um, yeah, I thought the match was very very good. I was very happy with it. The problem is I expect even better from a rematch because there will be a finish, um,
Yes.
and they've already laid the groundwork. So I might be disappointed with that, but that's it was a very very good match, and I want more. So they did a good job of that, making me excited for the future of Alano versus Mirai, which I imagine will be a thing moving forward. Uh,
Yes, for sure.
Mirai, you said now Shikawa is kind of like the main character. I feel like Mirai is in a similar role where it's like really she has so many avenues to go down. Um, she feels the most open of any wrestler, uh,
Yeah.
which I
Mariah is
really like.
she's in a great spot. I mean, she's very popular. I think she has one of the better themes of everybody on the roster. Hers is
Yes.
very like big hero of the TV show kind of
She
entrance theme.
it's funny you use that word because I feel like that is Mirai is
Yeah.
like Marigold's hero. And I think that's like like I feel like she said that before, that's kind of like her goal is that she wants to be, you know, viewed in that light. And I think
Yeah.
she does such a great job of that. And I really like her work right now. I think she's doing a great job.
All right.
Everyone
Well,
needs a hero and a real hero,
yeah,
not like
sure.
I'm not gonna disparage anybody.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Um, that was that show. Kind of an interesting
Mhm.
weekend for Marigold again. I would say nothing blow away, but there was a lot of really fun matches. And again, setting of the table for the future and just kind of keeping things ticking. They do only have one show this weekend. It's on the
Okay.
23rd, and it will be live from Shinkiba first, and then they are
Yes.
off the next weekend to Iwate and the Sendai Pit, which is their biggest challenge. If Marigold can have a somewhat lively crowd in the Sendai Pit, I will never doubt them. Um,
Yeah.
the card for this weekend in Shinkiba is Isa Matsui versus Komomo Minami, so that'd be an interesting test of Minami. In there with a very
Ooh,
good, very
yeah, that's
versatile wrestler.
like an actual wrestling match
Yeah.
that she'll get to do.
I don't know if you can hear that. The washing machine sounds like it's a
I can't hear it,
helicopter.
but that's very
Okay.
funny.
'Cause I can feel the vibrations, and I'm in a different part of the house. I'm just gonna see that as
Let's hope it's not like, exploding.
man, as if the general interruptions weren't enough. We had a runaway washing machine. Insanity. Anyway, it is not going to blow up, so that's good.
That's good.
Our next match is Chika Goto and Koki taking on Mai Sakurai and Victoria Yuzuki. So I think Chika and Koki are like tag title contenders, maybe.
Yes,
I don't know
definitely.
if they get a win because I don't know where
Who are they against?
Yuzuki is. Victoria Yuzuki and Mai Sakurai.
Ooh, I think Koki
Yeah,
probably
tough.
goes over one of them.
Maybe, possibly.
I think you underestimate how much they like Koki.
I don't know. I feel like they present Koki and Mai on very similar levels, but also Chika and Yuzuki are very similar levels. They did draw, so is to say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my Sakurai could even beat Chika
She could.
theoretically.
I don't know if
But
you'd have
yeah,
them
I
lose.
feel like I feel like Koki can get the win over Yuzuki.
Yeah.
In Minecraft, I named my bow and arrow Yuzuki
Really?
because she does the gimmick.
Cool. Great.
Yeah.
Our next match is Bozilla versus Zeta Steel. Poor Zeta is going to
Yeah,
get annihilated.
this is a long time coming.
Yeah. The next match is another attempt at a passion injection match. Nanai Takahashi and now Ishikawa for the third time are scheduled to face off. And let's hope it happens this time.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Yeah.
I've been waiting, and
So
it
has
feels like they
now.
have a plan there
Definitely,
because
yeah.
like they've been trying to get this done
To be
since
fair,
the
I don't
first
know
week.
if they know what else to do with Nanai, so maybe that's
Yeah,
just it.
no, it is interesting because like Nanai over the past couple of years has been like way better of a tag wrestler than a singles
Yeah.
wrestler, and they just do not give her tag matches.
No.
But
The next match is really interesting because it's Utami Hayashishita, Natsumi Shozuki, and Chiaki. This is Sari, Nagisa Nozaki, and Myla Grace. I think this is a real chance of Sari and her team actually losing. I think Utami could
yeah,
very easily beat Myla. Even Natsumi Shozuki could beat Myla. Yeah, this could be a Sari loss, and I wonder
this
who she
is
pairs up with. I assume
yeah,
it's
that's what I
Utami,
was gonna say.
but
It's
I'm not sure.
exciting that Sari has wrestlers to pair up with that are kind of unique. She could pair up with Utami or Shizuki or wait, who are their tag partner? Who's the last one?
Chiaki.
Ooh, yeah. See, like, yeah, I feel like all of those could be really cool.
Mm.
I really
Does
hope
someone?
Chiaki doesn't lose because Miley Grace is right there.
Yeah, let's hope so. The main event then of this show, it's a pretty small show. Mirai versus Mika Ono must be a
Yeah,
winner in the United National Tournament. So I'm very interested in how this goes because I'm starting to think Mirai is winning and maybe winning the belt. I don't know if I would do that, but everything
I
they've done, Mirai and
I
Ono
fear the
feels.
Bozilla.
Yes, I would too. But everything they've done with Mirai and Aono feels like we're gonna run this back in 6 months and Aono's gonna win the belt from Mirai kind of thing.
Hmm.
Maybe they pivot with Bozilla being as over as she is.
It
Um,
it's possible that, and this is kind of like part of like the wrestling philosophy and the long term storytelling philosophy or whatever. Uh, they can just run for a delay in that sense.
yeah.
They could give Bozella the belt and then have Mirai overcome her at year end, for
Mm,
example. And then have the Aono Mirai match at like the anniversary show next year,
yes.
like the
Yeah.
big one for the belt. Um, I could see
I
something like
could see
that
it.
happening
Yeah. I do think there's more clarity though. I think Mirai is most definitely winning now. This felt like
over
an
Aono.
even
Yeah,
pitch, yeah, but it's definitely Mirai over Aono now. Aono feels like a slightly longer term idea.
yeah, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Uh, yeah, I'm excited for this match. Like I said, I hope it turns out really good because the first match was good,
Oh
and
my god, if we ever finish this show. You know, I think it's fitting. Episode 200, our most interrupted episode yet.
yeah, it'll be the hardest episode for you to edit.
Yes, this is going to be painful.
Likely harder
Um,
than like a 3-man booth, honestly.
yeah,
Isn't that funny?
there's gonna be so much cutting and stuff. So I'm gonna try and make this listenable, but there's only so much I can do. What was our last thing? Did we both agree Mariah's probably winning? Her and Aono is good.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been watching SEAdLINNG, so I kind of I
Okay,
remember.
that's fair. Well, I think that's everything for this week. Because Marigold is winning once, We already previewed Stardom. Pretty big week for both. Next week we'll probably focus again on Stardom because every Marigold show is a lot smaller, and Stardom obviously is going to kill a faction, um,
Yeah.
and that's going to
There will
take up
be
a
there
lot of
will be
our.
the live Shinkiba show though, so we will be able to talk about Marigold a little bit.
Yes, definitely. We'll discuss obviously the results and how they pertain to Sumo Hall and stuff. Given that Mirai or I don't know will be wrestling Bozilla, and that's a pretty big match to run. They
They
did
might be
also.
announcing if it'll be a red belt match for
Yeah,
Syuri and
Sari
Julia.
has kind of been like, hey, we might as well do this with the red belt. I think it's kind of an interesting direction to go. But I mean, that was the most obvious one, but kind of interesting how Sari was like, I don't want that one. And now she kind of has to. So, that's just where she's at. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Do you want to say anything before we close out? I'm just ready to get this over with.
Um. Yeah. Thanks for 200 episodes, both Alex and everybody listening. If you've been here for all 200 episodes, I'm sorry. That's a lot, but I also appreciate you dearly. If you've been here for, 150 episodes or 50 episodes or 20 episodes, or if you came around when Marigold started up, like I don't judge, I don't discriminate. I appreciate you all a lot for listening to us talk shit about wrestling every week for some reason. Um, I was thinking that yesterday that like because I've been a little bit out of wrestling the past couple weeks. I was like, it's crazy that like people care about my opinion on these things. They probably shouldn't, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Um, yeah, I would say to another 200 more. Um, that's a lot. Like you're gonna be like 50 by then. Um, so
Jesus.
I don't know.
Well, you know, certain things might make that harder than others. Who's to say?
Such
Um,
as the first half of our show name. Um,
Stardom is on one, but you know what? We'll stick with it because
yeah,
what else have we got to do? Basically,
yeah. No, that's. I mean, the draft is coming back in America apparently, so I might have stuff to do, unfortunately.
that
But
would be interesting. I think,
yeah,
yeah, that might screw it because I don't think I would be able to get Scott to fill in because he
see,
would also get
yeah.
drafted.
The funny thing is that I don't know if I ever told the story on air. Um, when I was younger, I was going to join the Navy. Like that's what I told my
Right.
family because my family's a Navy family, and that was my plan. I was like, if I don't have anything going for me when I'm 18, 19 years old, I will join the Navy. And then when I turned 18, 19 years old and I didn't want to join the Navy, I was like, well, I have a podcast I have to do every week. So I can't go to boot camp. What the fuck? Like I can't be away for 2.5 months. I can't like what? I need to be here. So yeah, if I do end up getting drafted, it'll be kind of poetic that would be the end of the podcast. But hopefully that
Well,
doesn't happen. Hopefully we can stay giving you the best Joshu podcast every single week for as long as we survive.
I'm right. Well, with that, it is time to close the show. As I say, we'll be back next week to discuss all of the crazy happenings this coming week, including Mayu versus Tsukasa, Konami killing an actress turned MMA fighter, and whatever happens in Marigold. And yeah, I forgot how we close the show. Oh yeah, if you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. Decide what you believe in. Stay golden.
Stay golden. E show.
Yo.